Hi, I'm Julie Trelstad. I'm the US lead for StreetLib, which is an international digital book distribution company. And if that sounds overwhelming, I'm here to tell you how you can start with baby steps to publish your book, any kind of book, internationally. First of all, I can tell you why digital first is the best way to go. If you're printing books and somebody in Australia orders one, it will cost 25, 35 or more just to send it there, and it will take weeks. But if that same reader buys your book as an ebook or an audiobook, it is available in seconds. And that is true in markets all over the world. The United States tends to have a print heavy market. We prefer to read our books on paper. But in other parts of the world, such as India, ebooks are absolutely the dominant form of reading. In the Scandinavian countries, it's audiobooks. People use their devices to read and listen to books more than they buy books in a bookstore internationally, which is great news. So, how do you start? If you are publishing just in English language, which is what most of our American customers do, I recommend you start with a country that has a large proportion of English language readers. Now, all of them have an English language market, but start with one that's English friendly. So for that, I would say Germany or Australia or the UK or probably in Scandinavia. All of these countries have large English speaking populations. Once you picked your one country, I want you to go pick one storefront. Now, you can find a list of all the international stores at the StreetLib site and in our community. If you're looking, when you go to your hub, you'll see the whole list of where books are sold. Go to those sites. Look at the books that are similar to yours. See what you can find in terms of English language books. You might want to use an incognito browser or a VPN, which is like a virtual private network, to browse there so that you are not identified as being from the United States. Being able to see with the same eyes as an international buyer would see it is going to be very useful. If you have friends in other countries, you can ask them. All right. So once you've done your research, I want you to make a list of the top authors. Then why don't you go out and see how they're marketing their books? See if they're appearing in any particular blogs, podcasts, media, and if they're doing any advertising. Once you've determined this, I would say mimic that strategy. Do the same thing. In the United States, you can easily boost a Facebook post to Germany, and you can even choose audience, romance readers, and find exactly the right people. But when you do an advertisement on Facebook or any platform, be sure to include the buy link that is specific for that country. So, probably one of the Tolino stores in Germany, for instance. And you can get these buy links right off your StreetLib hub. Now, speaking of buying, you should price your book in line with other books in the country. Ebook prices really vary country by country. In the United States, Amazon kind of dominates, so books are really generally between $2.99 and $9.99. But in other countries, there's different pricing philosophies. A $4.99 book might seem, or $2.99 book might seem incredibly cheap in Germany, but a $9.99 book is going to be too expensive there. So take a look, see where other books like yours are priced. In India, $4.99 is going to be way too expensive. So you need to be, if you want to sell books in that market, if you want to promote to that market, you need to be matching what the local standards are. And you can do that with your research. Now, others of our authors are doing translations. So if you want to experiment, I would recommend, again, start with one book. Make sure, do your research again, see if there's a particular genre, if your book is selling really well in Italy, but only the Italians are making the top selling. Try it with one book. I've heard from several of our clients that translating is a better next step than making an audiobook. It's really up to you. You can find translators. You can translate it with AI, but I do recommend, at the very least, getting a local proofreader to read your work before you publish it. Same thing. Make sure you match the price, description, and that you're promoting your book in the same way that the locals do. Another thing to consider is, like in Australia, for instance, they have opposite seasons from the United States, so summer reads are promoted at a different time. Look at the calendar. Make yourself a student of an international market. So in conclusion, or in wrapping up, what I would say is if you want to enter selling your books globally, and it is a huge market, especially in the digital arena, consider starting with one market at a time, run some experiments. You can use the StreetLib dashboard to see the results of your marketing efforts in near real time. So you're going to know right away within a day or two whether or not the ad you're running in Scandinavia is actually selling books in Sweden. It's amazing. And baby steps. And before you know it, you're going to be a global publisher.